August 1966, iron ore from Mount Tom Price was being shipped out at 5 million tons a year. That was the beginning. Today, the big ships come and go. Exports are over 17 million tons a year and rising. There was no pellet plant here until 1968, but now the largest of its kind in the world produces over 2 million tons annually. This is the busy world of Hamersley iron, and it is the people who make the operation. There are 3,000 at Dampier, 2,500 at Tom Price, and the living here is as good as any city suburb. The average age is 28. The birth rate is amongst the highest in Australia. New contracts require increased production, a bigger port, the pellet plant, much more power. At Dampier, Deputy General Manager of Operations John O'Neill briefs his department heads on the day's operations. The basis for this miracle of development in the outback is Mount Tom Price, 500 million tons of high-grade iron ore. Drills pierce the ore. Explosives tear it apart. Shovels scoop up 25 tons at a time. Trucks with 100-ton loads take the ore to the crushers. Hamersley combines the vision and mining skills of its founder, Conzinc Rio Tinto of Australia, with the experience and internationalism of Kaiser Steel of the United States. To meet new contracts, Tom Price output is being raised to 22.5 million tons a year by the middle of 1971, and a second mine established at Paraburdoo, 35 miles to the south. A few years later, by 1974, a production of 37 million tons should be reached. The money comes in, but the spending is tremendous. Almost $300 million to date, another $300 million to go to reach that 74 target. The word million is used often in this part of the country. A second crushing and screening plant has been installed at Tom Price. Geared to Hamersley's total efficiency policy, it concentrates on upgrading lower quality ores. The 182-mile railway linking Tom Price with Dampier to the northwest was built during 1966 and has been upgraded substantially to meet the rising traffic flow. Trains of 160 cars, as long as the eye can see, haul 15,000 tons a time to Dampier. The fleet is big, 12 mainline locos, nearly 800 ore cars, with more on order. 5 trains a day, with greater frequencies planned, make this one of the busiest lines in Australia. 2,000 miles away, in Melbourne, in the decision-making atmosphere of the CRA building, Hamersley's managing director, Russ Madigan, reviews progress since '66 and looks into the 70s.
Take a telex for Tokyo office. First draft can be ready, say, 12th December, period. Dick Erlin can arrive Tokyo early January for final negotiations. Please arrange bookings. Regards, Madigan.
That timing sounds very good, Russ, and we're certainly going to need every minute of it to get various documents completed.
Dick, when we graft HyMET and additional sales to Europe and the US on that, obviously means we should be planning ultimately for at least 40 million tons a year.
Well, that's very true, even within the next decade, in fact. It's right in the foreseeable future.
I've got Tom coming up to show me the latest planning for Paraburdoo and East Intercourse, and perhaps we can check that aspect through with him.
Yeah, good day, Tom.
Tom, Dick and I have been talking about the effect of the new Japanese contract, Tom, on our production commitments and how they'll fit in with your plans for developing Paraburdoo and East Intercourse.
Well, as you know, Paraburdoo deposit contains over 1,000 million tonnes of iron ore. The proposal is to commence mining at the 4 East deposit. The crushing and rail-out facilities will be located on the northern side, and ore will be taken out eastwards and eventually meet up with the existing railway line at Tom Price.
That's round about near the township now, isn't it?
Mining operations will commence in 1972. Paraburdoo's output can be increased by 5 million tons a year and should reach the 15 million ton mark by 1974.
That's part of the Paraburdoo deposits over there, Charles. It's known as 4 East, and that's where the mining operation's going to start.
This will be a second Mount Tom Price, then?
Yes, it'll be quite comparable.
Hamersley, by 1974, should be mining a total of 770,000 tons of ore a week. Stockpile capacity at Dampier has been enlarged to keep up with production. This 7,200 tons an hour bucket wheel reclaimer has been installed to handle ore fines. The company has two. Underground water sources adjoining the Fortescue River near Millstream are being used to augment town and industrial supplies. The water is needed also for Karratha, the new regional town being built on Nicol Bay, 12 miles to the southeast. Three 3 million gallons a day will be piped the 84 miles to the reservoir tank at Dampier. A 90-megawatt power station is being built, with completion scheduled for 1970. When the iron oxide pellet plant started production in February 1968, 11 years ahead of the date set by the Western Australian government, it ushered in the second processing phase of Hamersley's operations. Blast furnaces have higher efficiencies because of the uniform roundness of pellets. They're made from iron ore fines, mixed with lime sand, ground smaller to powder, and with a little water made into balls half an inch in diameter. After heat treatment, they become hard and suitable for shipment. Japanese companies have contracted to take nearly 18 million tons of pellets in the 10 years to 1978. What others think of Port Dampier, Harbour Master Doug Nielsen learns from the master of the Wakahatu Maru, Captain Komatsu.
Captain Komatsu, welcome to Dampier on your 24th trip. In that time, how much cargo have you carried away?
Altogether, 1,800,000. So big.
Captain, how does this port compare with other large ports in the world that you have been to?
Yes, I have been many ports, but Dampier, Port Dampier is number one.
Coming from the city...
Others find it number one also, are even a little surprised at the way of life here. All electric houses, rental $6 a week. Even now, Dampier has reached its limit of growth, hence the new town of Karratha.
I'm sure we won't miss anything from the city, and we are going to love it here.
Every modern amenity is provided. All that's missing is the wear and tear of city life. In its place is the serenity and grandeur of this northwestern frontier for the Australia of tomorrow.
Children, I want you to write in your own words a paragraph about the processing of iron ore at Tom Price.
This is our school at Dampier. My family and I have been here 1 year. When the school opened 3 years ago, it had 35 pupils. It now has 400, and next year we expect to have 500 children enrolled. I'm Malcolm McGowan. I'm the headmaster here. And that's my wife over there in the playground. She's a second grade teacher.
And from this kindergarten may come tomorrow's craftsmen, secretaries, engineers, and executives who will continue to build where their fathers and mothers left off.
It's not all work here. On the weekends, we take our family to the islands to fish, swim, and gather shells. Fishing here is fantastic. We always catch a wide variety, and it's nothing to bring home a dozen large game fish weighing up to 50 pounds. On low tides, we give the fishing away, and our whole family engage in collecting shells.
Tree planting and landscaping, aided by the company-sponsored nursery, are transforming the rocky surroundings.
right, thanks, Steve. This will be just great for the front lawn. By the way, you're not from Australia, are you? And yet you love your work down here.
I'm a POM. I've been out here 12 years now. Droving, station work, done most things. Worked in the city for a while there, but didn't like the idea of going to work on the same bloody train every morning. I like it up here at Dampier. It's a great place, open air and everything. It'll do me anyway.
Here's my baby. You've got a beautiful baby. Look at this.
This is the greatest.
She's so awake, isn't she? The baby's 32nd baby since March, isn't she? And she's the 81st baby since we opened.
Never had, huh?
When you move the side right around and go right through with the ball. Right on the forehand, off we go. 1, 2, 3 now. Right through now, skip back. 1, 2, 3. On your toes, backhand. 1, 2, 3, right through. Let's skip back.
Out there in King Bay is East Intercourse Island. To cater for the huge lift in production that's coming, a second deep-water port is being built on the island, equipped with new wharf and shiploader. When operating early in 1972, ore carriers up to 150,000 tons will ply regularly to and from the ports of the world. A couple of times around the deck before breakfast and you're really fit. Hamersley holds contracts with Japan, Britain, Belgium, France, Germany, Greece, Holland, Italy and the United States. Early in 1970, 240 million tons of iron products remained for delivery under existing contracts to Japan alone. Hard-working and ambitious, Japan is a world industrial leader and consumes iron ore in gargantuan proportions. Hamersley is Japan's largest individual supplier. There is much talk in the group's permanent offices in Tokyo of steel and contracts and raw materials, including the new metallized product known as HyMET that Hamersley is to make. The conference room is